To submit BeeWalk survey data, first of all, log into the BeeWalk website. You can use either your BeeWalk username or the email address that you used to register with the BeeWalk website. This is separate from the username and password used to register for the Bumblebee Conservation Trust Forum. Once you've logged in, head to the My Walks tab, and this will bring you up a calendar which shows any dates that you've previously submitted data for that year. So here you can choose which site you're submitting data for, if you've got more than one survey site, or you can just click straight on the date that you undertook your survey. And here you can select your location, if you didn't select it on the previous page, from a drop-down list which has all the transects. And it will have auto-completed the date and the recorder name. So enter your start time and your end time. And the sunshine levels, the wind speed, and the temperature. Then click Next Step at the bottom right hand corner. This will take you onto the data submission page, and this is where you need to enter all the species that you saw on your survey. So you can start typing in the name of the species that you saw in the species column, and this can be the Latin name or the common name. So if I start typing in common, it'll bring up common carder, and I can click on this. And then I select the section that I saw this in. And note down how many queens, workers or males of that species I saw. Now if you weren't sure what the caste of the species was, you can enter this number in unknowns. So I saw one queen. And if you're recording flower data, you can record the plant species that that bumblebee was foraging on at the time. So you work through the list of species that you saw on your walk. So if I start typing in buff, I can choose the buff-tailed bumblebee. Select which section you saw it in, and how many queens, workers or males. Now you can also record that you saw a bumblebee, but you couldn't identify it to species. So we still like you to submit records of bumblebees that were on your route, even if you weren't able to confidently identify the species. So you can do this by entering the word bumblebee. And again, input that information about the section that you saw it in. And if you could tell whether it was a queen, a worker or male, you can add that in, but if not, just enter that number into unknown. Now there is a real difficulty in distinguishing between buff-tailed and white-tailed workers in the field, so we do have an option to submit data as a white/buff-tailed worker. So you can do this by starting to type in white, and if you scroll to the bottom of the list, it will have white/buff-tailed bumblebee worker. So you can enter that data here. And if you make a mistake with a species that you've entered, just click on the red cross and that will delete that off. So once you've added in all the species that you've seen on your route, click Next Step. Add in any notes if you've got anything particularly unusual to add in. So information such as a big section of your walk has been recently mowed would be useful data, or any other extra bit of information you'd like to add in. And then click Save. So once you see that green tick, that's confirmation that the data has been submitted. Now there are a couple of common errors that can occur when submitting data, so I'll go through these. The commonest mistake to make while submitting data is forgetting to fill in one of the sections of the form. So if I enter a species, add in that I saw one buff-tail bumblebee queen, but I've not put in which section that I saw it on. So if I try to submit that data, it'll bring me up an error warning telling me the data could not be saved. So whenever you see this error warning, the best thing to do is go back to that data submission page and just check that you've completed all the right columns. So here we can see that I've not completed the section for that buff-tail record. So if I choose this section, it will then allow me to submit the data. So that's the data submitted. So anytime you do get an error warning, it's worth going to that data submission page and just double checking that you've filled in all the lines.